SPW New Zealand champion, the shooter Shane Sinclair. You see him with his comrades Detention, Sabrina, and the general manager Professor Palmer. He has seemed unstoppable since winning the championship at Halloween Haunting last year. Tonight, he faces a man who he hasn't faced since 2015, the returning NIWA. Can the shooter continue his reign tonight? Looks like Detention heading to the back and shooter sending Palmer back as well. It's just going to be the shooter and Sabrina coming to the ring tonight.
Tell me how good I look.
Competing in the first ever SPW event 5 years ago with a win over Aaron Henry, now known as Toa Hanare. The shooter, the first ever SPW New Zealand champion and the current and longest reigning. This man is what SPW is all about. Making his return to SPW after 5 years, formerly known as Johnny Idol, this is NIWA. He's travelled all over the world, Mexico and the UK. This man has made a huge name for himself. He is back in New Zealand and he is back here in SPW, and he has a huge opportunity to become the SPW New Zealand champion tonight at the Southern Rumble.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the SPW New Zealand Championship. Introducing the challenger from Wellington City, weighing 113 kilograms, NIWA! And introducing the champion, accompanied to the ring by Sabrina, from New Plymouth by way of Wellington, weighing in at 106 kilograms. He is the reigning, defending SPW New Zealand champion, the shooter, Shane Sinclair!
Bring the bell!
Sinclair, NIWA, here we go. And right away it's the shooter who backs his challenger into the corner. SPW New Zealand Championship on the line.
David Dunn, I am excited for this one.
Absolutely, the tension in that ring was palpable.
I bet it was, I can only imagine.
And right away you see the intensity on display. NIWA is not playing around. He is back at SPW for one reason only, and that's to become SPW champion as he drills Sinclair with a suplex.
NIWA looks like a man transformed since the last... Oh, going for a near fall there. NIWA looks like a man transformed since the last time we saw him in 2015.
That's right, what a difference 5 years make. 5 years ago, in fact, where Sinclair and NIWA, who are just trading these brutal chops, met for the first time. Oh, listen to that impact. Tyler, that's going to do some severe damage to the chest of Sinclair.
NIWA could finish Shane Sinclair off early here. Shooter not getting a chance to get out of the blocks. NIWA is taking the fight to the champion. Oh!
We are right at the back of the building in our commentary position. I heard that clear as day.
NIWA having words with Sabrina at ringside. Sabrina made quite the impact at Queenstown WrestleFest and Fight for Gold. NIWA's going to have eyes in the back of his head in this one. But at least he doesn't have to deal with Palmer and detention. Shane sending them to the back.
Blessing in disguise there for NIWA. Shane Sinclair opting to do it somewhat alone as he eats a knee from NIWA.
Is this it?
Not quite enough, but in the early going here, NIWA has had the champion on the back foot.
Calling for the finish. This could be it. Oh, Sabrina gets involved already.
Well, that's just it, Tyler. We knew that could have been it. Oh! And now NIWA set over the top rope, a nasty spill to the outside. And now Sinclair claiming he's done something to his ankle.
Meanwhile, Sabrina with an uppercut on NIWA. Oh my God, just blatantly getting involved and shoves him into the ring post.
This is supposed to be a one-on-one affair for the SPW New Zealand Championship, and this is breaking down into essentially a handicap match.
I've said this before, I'm a huge fan of the shooter. He's having an historic title reign, but every time Sabrina getting involved to help the shooter. Does he really need that? Can he not do it on his own? I'm sure he can. He's amazing.
And 5 years ago, Tyler, he did do it on his own once before. Was able to submit NIWA in a heel hook, and you got to believe Sinclair's going to be looking for that submission again here tonight.
Seems like a different life when you go back and look at that footage. A very different Shane Sinclair, a very different NIWA. Both men have improved dramatically over the last 5 years. It's even hard to compare that match to this one. They're both so different now, both so much better. Shane Sinclair, a two-time SPW New Zealand champion. NIWA, world-travelled. It's an impossible match to call, David.
That's right, both of these men have been competing at the highest level for the past 5 years, and then some even before that. Two truly world-class athletes in a professional wrestling ring. As we see Sinclair cinching in that chin lock, trying to cut off the blood flow to the head of NIWA, trying to slow him down, not let that oxygen get into his muscles.
This Invercargill crowd getting behind NIWA just like they did in the very first match on the very first SPW show 5 years ago. Oh!
Cuts him off with an elbow to the side of the head, and now Sinclair looking for the cover, hooks the outside leg. Not quite enough.
David, we've been saying it all night. These competitors that are in the Southern Rumble have to finish their matches as soon as possible. These two, as far as I know, not entered in the Rumble, but the winner will have to face the winner of the Southern Rumble tomorrow night. I mean, they can't really have that in the back of their minds, but it might be.
A very busy weekend for both of these men, for many of our competitors tonight. That's right, Tyler. Oh, big Irish whip from Shane Sinclair. Of course, it is in your best interest to finish a match as quickly as possible, whenever you can. But when you're in there up against an athlete, the quality of Sinclair, the quality of NIWA, a lot easier said than done.
Absolutely, David. And a huge suplex from the shooter.
Into the cover again now. Doesn't bother to hook the leg.
He must have heard you, David.
A little bit of advice there for the shooter Shane Sinclair. Still not quite enough though. But Tyler, Shane Sinclair has been competing at a high level for so long. What is it about Sinclair that makes him so dominating and so good in that ring?
Shane Sinclair, I said when he came out, this man, to me, he is the epitome of what SPW is all about. He's been here since day one. He was the first SPW New Zealand champion. The man is a Oceania medalist. He has had success all over the country, and the shooter has been consistent, especially since aligning himself with Professor Palmer over the last year. His title reign is now historic, partly in due to the COVID-19 break we had to take, but regardless of that, he is the longest reigning SPW New Zealand champion.
And of course, that break has brought NIWA back to our shores. World-travelled athlete, his journey brings him back to Invercargill and brings him into the crosshairs of Sinclair. Oh! But that is a bad landing for the defending champion. And this might be the moment that NIWA needs to capitalise and close in on that SPW New Zealand Championship. NIWA follows Sinclair to the top rope. Looking for a massive superplex.
Oh my God!
Look at the distance on that. Sinclair flung across the ring. A devastating impact for both Suplexer and Suplexee there. Both men are down.
We're going to have a look at that again, David. I don't know if either man is going to be able to make it to their feet. Boom, just crashing to the mat. The crowd trying to urge NIWA to get to his feet to continue the match.
And of course, we should point out, if neither man makes his way back before the referee's 10 count, this match will be a draw. Shane Sinclair will remain champion.
Yep, but that's a moot point now, David. Both men back to their feet. This match continues, and the slugfest is on.
Listen to the impact of these strikes. These men going blow for blow.
Is this a smart game plan from the shooter? He needs to go back to his grappling, I think. You don't want to get into a slugfest with NIWA, who is all power.
Case in point right there. NIWA taking down the champion with a series of lariats.
Oh,
turns
wow.
him inside out. Is this enough? Do we have a new champion on our hands? 1 second away from NIWA ending the historic reign of the shooter Shane Sinclair.
NIWA looks great here tonight, don't you think, David?
Absolutely. He has traveled the world. He has fought the best of the best in Mexico, all around Europe, and now he brings those skills back to Invercargill tonight. Will they be enough to net him the SPW New Zealand Championship? NIWA certainly thinks so. He's got Sir Sinclair in position here. Sinclair misses, collides with the turnbuckles. NIWA squashes him.
Sinclair has not been able to dominate NIWA like he normally does his opponents.
Using the ropes for momentum, rushes in, and NIWA plants him. Tilt-a-whirl side slam.
Man, it just looks like NIWA has the shooter's number tonight.
And now,
whoa!
Springboard moonsault for the big man, NIWA. Sinclair barely gets his shoulder off the canvas. I thought we were about to see a new champion.
I did too, David. I was just flabbergasted that NIWA still has that same athletic ability that we saw in this building 5 years ago. He's such a transformed competitor, but he's still Johnny Idol in the end.
All 113 kilograms of NIWA crashing down on the sternum of Shane Sinclair, who sweeps the leg, and he's got him in the heel hook.
This is a move that tapped out NIWA in 2015.
And NIWA knows it, desperately fighting free, boots to the side of the face. Sinclair, though, tenacious as ever.
NIWA manages to fight out of it.
But the problem with that heel hook, Tyler, is that's a move that does cumulative damage. And we don't know what condition the ankle of NIWA is in now. You see him there getting back to his feet, rushing in, and Sinclair flings him overhead. belly-to-belly suplex.
There's that domination I was talking about from the shooter. Is this where he takes over?
Sinclair thinks he's done enough to retain his title. But NIWA is still in this matchup. NIWA will not be denied his chance to become SPW New Zealand champion. Still some fight left in this man. Sinclair now turning his attention to the arm of NIWA, tying him up with a key lock. And NIWA's a long way away from the ropes there. He's going to have to really work to break out of this submission hold.
I believe I saw Sinclair. Oh, NIWA fighting out. I think I saw Sinclair motion to Sabrina.
You're right, Tyler. Look at this. Sabrina up on the apron as NIWA connects with the powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. This would be it if our referee was on top of the action, but Sabrina's got him distracted. Come on, we should have a new champion by now.
Whoa. She should not be getting involved, but Sinclair knocking Sabrina off the apron.
Roll-up.
Oh my gosh. Thought that was it, but this could be it. NIWA has the shooter in his crosshairs. Whoa, Sinclair fights out.
Lands on his feet and drops NIWA with the sit-out exploder suplex. Stacks him up. 2.5.
That's how he won the SPW Championship, David.
But look at this. When NIWA kicked out, he fell right into the trap of the heel hook. Excruciating pain for the challenger.
Is NIWA going to tap? Yes, he does.
What a statement from Shane Sinclair, submitting NIWA to retain his title. Here is your winner and still SPW New Zealand champion, the shooter, Shane Sinclair.
What a battle. Night 1 of SPW's 5-year anniversary weekend, and the shooter Shane Sinclair successfully retains his SPW Championship over NIWA. NIWA looked to have the shooter finish with that powerbomb. Sabrina getting involved, distracting the referee. That was enough for Sinclair to take advantage. Dropping NIWA on his head. NIWA still fought out of it. But Sinclair had the wherewithal to lock in that heel hook, and the pain was just too much for NIWA to take. He had to submit. The shooter's historic reign continues. Tomorrow night, he will defend against the winner of the SPW Southern Rumble, which is coming up next.
Still a champ, baby. Can't take this away. No one's taking this from me. No one.
Never, never.